Hey everybody, welcome back. Straight to divorce, of course.
I'm sorry, what?
He was down here with another chick.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I ended my 13-year relationship a few months before the wedding. So a little backstory, I was with my ex for 13 years and engaged for a year. That's already a red flag. Why were we dating for an entire decade without tying the knot? But that's a whole nother story. So I met him my senior year of high school, and he was just starting college. He was friends with my sister, so that's how we met. My parents loved him. I loved his family. So he finally proposed, and I was literally over the moon. I had dreamt of this day my entire life, our entire relationship. We went and looked at some venues, fell in love with one. We booked immediately. We had also booked a wedding planner and a caterer, and I decided that I was going to go to Pakistan with my mom to do all of the wedding outfits. So I was in Pakistan for 3 weeks, and I ordered all my clothes and also was almost finalizing his stuff. My mom was going to stay longer to finish up everyone else's. So now I get to Dubai from Pakistan, and I had a few hour layover there, so I'm literally just bored out of my mind. The funny thing was that I was messaging him and it was kind of taking him long to reply, and I'm thinking there was a 12-hour time difference, so I'm like, he should be like in bed. So I'm like, hello, where are you? And he's like, hi, and then he calls me a little bit later, and then we talk and everything, and I'm about to board the flight. So then I tell him like, okay, I'm about to board, so I'll talk to you later, and he's supposed to be picking me up when I get home. So I'm waiting to board my 13-hour flight from Dubai to SF, and I never checked my DM request on Instagram, and I don't know what told me that night. So I go to it and I click on the first request. It's from a girl, and as soon as I read the first few words, you guys, the way my heart literally sank, I cannot explain that feeling. So basically her DM said, your man wasn't fishing last night. He was with me. We went to a bar to get a drink. Nothing happened between us, but I realized that he was engaged. I'm so sorry. I just looked at your Instagram. You look like a beautiful person. And he was posting that he was fishing on his Instagram stories. So that's why she said
you
that.
Off. Decoy post, eh? I just love how we as a society have gotten to a point that literally anyone is accessible online. It is really, really hard to be out here cheating on your fiance, on your boyfriend, on your girlfriend, on your husband, on your wife, especially when there are people out there who will find you and let you know.
Just replied, do you have proof? That's all I said. My heart was racing. I felt so sick to my stomach. I got out of the line to board and I called him, and he's like acting casual. Obviously, he's like, what's up? I was like, so what were you doing last night? And he's so confused because we had just got off the phone, and he's like, what do you mean? I told you I went fishing. And then I was like, okay, and before you went fishing? And he's like, oh, I went to blah, blah, blah bar to get some drinks with so-and-so. And he's like, why? At this point, he already knows that I know something, because why did I just call back to question him? So I asked who was he at the bar with, and he named his friends. And I was like, no, who else was there? He's like, just us. You're crazy. What's wrong with you? And I was like, no, there was a girl there. Who was the girl? He's like, oh, that's my friend's friend. I'm trying to get him to say the name. He's acting like he doesn't even remember the girl's name. He's saying some random names. And then in this time, I go back to her page to look at her, and I saw that he was following her. And then after I talk to him, I see he goes and unfollows her. So I'm like, oh, so you do know who I'm talking about, and you were following her until now you just went and unfollowed. So I just hung up because I knew I was about to turn into a completely different person, and I was at the airport, so I hung up on him.
Admission of guilt right there. Admission of guilt. He was following someone and then unfollowed them immediately. God, women really are detectives. Like, because how is it that you're watching that following so closely? You see the number go up and down. You double check the username. I swear, some cheaters are so sloppy. Ugh, I'm bored. They're all the same.
So then she sends me a random picture that she's in his car, and he has a Tesla, and I recognize his car, and his hand So I knew it was him. He is like messaging me, he's calling me, he's blowing up my phone. So I answer him and I'm like, so why was a girl in your car? And you guys, the story he made up as to why this girl was in his car, like, he goes, oh, that was so-and-so's friend and she's never rode in a Tesla. She wanted a ride, so I just like drove her to the bar. You are not in a Bugatti, okay? His lies were just getting worse and worse.
Imagine that.
Oh my goodness, I've never ridden in a Tesla before. Like, can I get a ride?
Never ridden in a Tesla? Half the Ubers out there are Teslas. Give me a break. Be freaking for real here. I gotta say, those the handles in Teslas still throw me off a little bit. But I can confirm 1 out of every 3 Ubers is a Tesla.
He even had his friend, who is the biggest liar that I do not trust, send him a message saying, oh, that was so-and-so. So he's showing me screenshots like, look, he knows I would never do anything like that. And I'm like, okay, you want me to believe this liar? You guys,
Your
if
friend?
I did not have
Yeah.
proof, the way I would have believed him, because the way he was manipulating me and telling stories, he's like, you know, I always run into your friends every time I'm out, which is true. He's like, you really think I would take some girl out to a bar knowing that I run into your friends all the time?
Yes.
And in my head, I'm like,
Yes.
he's got a point there. I don't think that if he was doing that, he would be at a bar. He would like go to someone's house. So I'm like, She had also sent me another picture, so I knew that them two were at the bar. But then I knew he was making up this whole story. He was lying. But if I didn't have that proof, I would have believed him because his lies were so believable. I just tell him, I cannot believe you and I'm done. We were getting ready to board, so I had to get off the phone. I just sat in the plane and I was just numb. Like, I was shocked. I was numb. That entire flight for 13 hours, I just sat there like this. I didn't even recline my seat. I sat up straight like this for 13 hours.
raw
I just
dogged
closed
it.
my eyes because I didn't want to be bothered. I did not sleep. I didn't listen to my music. I did not use the bathroom. I did not drink water, food,
Raw dogging.
nothing. Kept hoping that I'm dreaming. This is a nightmare and I'm going to wake up any second. The guy on the plane next to me was so freaking nice, you guys. He like tapped me to wake me up for a meal. I had already missed breakfast and lunch and this was dinner time, so he tapped me. He's like, oh, you've been missing meals, so I got you a plate. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. So
Marry
I
that
finally
guy.
land home. He texted saying that he's here, he's going to park and come to baggage claim. And I'm like, no, why would you come to baggage claim? Just wait for me, pull up, I'm just going to come. Like, I don't want you to come inside. And then he's like, my mom is with me too. I'm sorry, what?
Be
He
freaking
says,
for real right
I'm
now.
going to take my mom to the sister's house and she's near you, so we're just going to drop her off. But I know what he was doing there. Like
What?
a zombie. Not only I haven't slept in like 30 plus hours, I also haven't ate. My eyes are bloodshot red. And then I walk down and he's standing there with flowers and his mom is smiling, and God bless her. I literally love her. I hugged her and I didn't hug him. She immediately knew something was up because of our body language.
You mean to tell me that this man just got caught cheating and he brought his mother? He brought his mother. What exactly is going on there? He's like, oh, let me bring the mom so that she doesn't get mad at me in the car. She can't possibly say this in front of my mom. I would have told her. Like, hi, nice to see you. Just so you know, your son cheated on me. This will be a fun car ride, eh? Oh, girl, 13 years.
I very quickly realized this man has no guilty conscience. The fact that he did that and he was still following her says a lot about him.
And not only that, it's like maybe nothing happened that night, but he was setting it up so that it could happen in the future. Okay.
So finally, I decided to send him a screenshot of their DMs that she sent me, and his whole storyline changed. And then the way he still tried to manipulate me, try to put it on the girl like, oh, I wasn't even into her. I was texting you while I was there and she got angry and now she's messaging you. It's like, sir, we're not discussing her. We're discussing your actions. You very much
How does that
yourself
make it any better?
messaged her, asked her out, took her out to have a drink. We're talking about that. Then he had the audacity to say, don't do this. We are getting so close to getting married.
Yeah,
Like,
you should have
we
realized
cannot do
that.
this. I'm like, I don't do this. You did this.
Yeah.
Like, be so real right now. I was just losing my
we're so close to getting married, then why the hell did you go and try to hook up with somebody else? Why is that suddenly her fault now? Make it make sense. It's not making sense, bestie. It's not.
I was just done. Like, I cannot believe few months before our wedding, you would do this to me. We were doing so good for so many years, or as I thought. And in our happiest times, you could step out like that. I have no doubt that you will do this once we're married and have kids, and when life becomes harder. I just felt like it was a sign from God. So I took it slowly. I didn't remove him from social media. I just muted him, and I just didn't get on TikTok and Instagram for months.
Because at this point, it's like, it's not only like you're wasting the time of your significant other, you're wasting everybody else's time too. You're wasting money and time. Ain't no decency left. Well, there is some decency left, but it's not in this video.
Right when I thought I could have it all, it was like taken away from me in like a heartbeat, and I could not accept it. And he had the keys to my house, and he knew my parents' like work schedule. My mom was out of town, my sister was not in town, so he just showed up, and I was at home working. And I told him I'm gonna call the cops if he doesn't leave. Like, he can't just pull up. He tried to talk. I said, no, I'm done. I don't want to talk. I said everything I wanted to say, and he's still trying to make it work. And I was like, there's no going back. He literally couldn't accept it because he never thought that I would leave him.
There is no amount of flowers that you can send to fix this situation. Some people would say,
oh God, they just went for, a drink, nothing happened.
Blah, blah, blah. It's still terrible. There's still something about the fact that they were about to spend the rest of, first of all, no hate to anyone who's been in a relationship for 10 years. Maybe you don't want to get married. Maybe that's not your style. But if you do want to get married and you've been in a relationship for 10 years and there's still no ring, bestie, careful there. Careful. Okay? That screams to me someone who doesn't want to commit. I know there's certain situations, you've been together since you were really young and you want to get to like a financial spot where you're all good and stuff like that. But still, 13 years with the same person and you're still not married yet, unless it's by choice, there's something going on there. He can't let go of being single. He can't. So that's your first red flag. That's an indication that he can't let go of the idea that he would be with you for the rest of his life. And then your second indication is that he thinks it's a good idea to go on a date with another person, follow that person on social media, just so that maybe,
in the future, we could have a little kiki.
I'm really curious to find out how she knew he was engaged. Did she creep him on social media? Does he not have you on his social media? I don't get how she would have known. And good for her for telling you. I understand that this whole thing kind of blew up your life. I understand that this dude blew up your life. Good for her for telling you, because if it wasn't gonna happen then, it would have happened in the future. Good for you for sticking by your values. There's plenty of women who would consider going back with a person like this, but good for you for sticking to your guns and calling off the wedding, because it's yes, okay, it's inconvenient for everybody else. You spent a bunch of money, but at the end of the day, he disrespected you. Straight to divorce, of course. Not this guy next to me breaking up with his girl over text while being with a whole other female that knows too. What's the conversation that took place before that? Was it
well, you have a girlfriend. I'm not going to hook up with you until you break up with her.
Okay. That easy, eh? We need a story time.
This took place at a P&D concert in Hollywood. And I was next to this chick and some guy. And I don't know if they were with the group or not. But at first, I just thought that he was cheating on his girlfriend. The girl that was next to him, or actually all up on him. That she wasn't aware. So I was like, what the hell? I let the people that I came with know, what the hell, he's right here texting and he's cheating, what the hell? And then after, it really baffled me because I ended up seeing her look at the messages and scrolling and laughing, and I was just I just couldn't compose myself. I was just
sloppy
shocked,
seconds.
And a lot of people in the comments were saying I should have done something, I should have said something. Yeah, like my initial thought was like, okay, I'm about to say something, I'm about to embarrass him, whatever. But like, I really wanted to put my needs before anyone else's at that moment, and I really wanted to see the concert, and I didn't want to risk getting thrown out, especially how long I waited, and I looked good that day. But
Fair.
But long story short, we ended up finding the girl while she texted me. We're gonna keep her private, anonymous, because we want to respect her. But basically, they have been together for almost 2 years. They're not together, guys. She left him.
Good.
She took him off social media and stuff.
Good.
And they had been together for about 2 years almost. They're from up north, like 3 hours away. So he was down here in LA with another chick from his girl. And his girl had thought that night that he was supposedly sick. And he was at home, but he was actually in Hollywood with a chick. It's just like so messy. And he told her, don't worry about her. Like, she's just a coworker, she's just a friend, because she always felt some type of way about him following her. And he always said nah, but her gut never trusted it. And I'm glad I'm the one that was able to shed light on this situation and really, allow her to take this step forward.
Honestly, it's her laughing while he's breaking up with his girl to be with her. If he's willing to do that in a second to someone he's been with for 2 years, like it's nothing, what makes you think he won't do that to you? Hey, you can have the sloppy seconds, but don't get it twisted. If he throws away a relationship of 2 years that easily, there is a high chance that he will probably do it to you too. Just saying.
Imagine going on a holiday to Benidorm with family and cheating in the same hotel, not even outside of the hotel.
There she is. Imagine walking out at this time of night, and the minute I walk out the door, and he walks past me with someone.
Oh, you going back to the room?
Always going for the big.
Gonna have a nice little nightcap in the room, or what?
Tramp, mate. Look here, tramp. Do you know you're about the fourth lad? Lad, telling you. Look here, you dirty little tramp. You're a little hoe. You're getting brandished all over.
Oh, she's cheating.
You dirty little scumpo.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes.
Do you know how stupid you look, you little tramp? Look at you. Keep laughing.
All right, so we're going back to the hotel room. She's the one that's cheating. This is the guy she wants to cheat with. He looks confused. Oh my God, look at him back away. Look at him back away. Oh my God, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that Homer Simpson meme where he's just like, wow, you went while your family was also staying at the hotel. That's some trifling. Listen, I know we be drinking lots of pina coladas and stuff, but like, there's no excuse to behaving this foul. When you finally decide to date again and his girlfriend pops up. Oh, brother, Like actual girlfriend? Actual girlfriend, not ex? Okay. No, it's his actual girlfriend. Well, it's a one and done, right? Just delete the apps for a bit, try again in a year or so. My favorite animal is me when I find out I'm being cheated on. What are those? Forks? Okay. So we put forks on the lawn. Forks on the lawn? We're putting forks on the lawn. Why are we doing that? Maybe there's clues in the comments? My fave is the lady who threw hella rubber bands in the driveway because it's hard to sweep them up. They better be grateful they at least got the premium forks. So just so we know, if we get cheated on, we are putting things in the lawn and on the driveway that are very, very hard to remove. So sticking forks in the grass, mashed potatoes on the driveway. Okay, we got a list. Mashed potato, powdered milk, powdered eggs, glitter rubber bands, licking Jolly Ranchers and sticking them on the car, going to Petco and buying a cup of bugs. Okay, sardine juice all over their lawn. Yummy. Nah, this is perfect because every time he had to pull one of those forks up, he had to think about why he's pulling forks up. You made a mess. Your cheating made a mess of my life, so I'm gonna make a big mess for you. Subscribe.